Hello everyone and welcome back to Farmer Joe Homesteading. Today we are going to show you our morning chore routine because we've had some changes recently on our morning chores, so we're going to show you what we do every morning. The first thing we do every morning is let the goose clan out. Their gate gets opened first thing in the morning, and it's the last gate to be closed at night so that they get plenty of time out foraging. As you can see there, they're currently gathering up some grit from the dirt on the driveway so that they're nice and full and ready for the day of eating plenty of grass. The next step then after that is letting all of the roosters out because they are all very anxious and ready to run for the day. So the boys all get let out next. The boys will only be in here for a few more days. They are going to be moving to a different spot here sometime soon. We just need to get some things organized because we have so many broodies right now. Once the boys are out, I can come in here, have a look at all of our feeders and waterers. They are in need of some food. This got filled yesterday, so it just needs a dump to be cleaned out. And then the turkeys are getting big enough that they can come out too. Say hi, turkeys.
Hi. Hello.
I make sure and count them all morning and night and anytime I'm outside to make sure that we have the whole crew. There's 12 of them plus one big rooster that decided he likes their pen better, and we have the two little golden Trele roosters in here still too. So we check them regularly to make sure that they are okay. The big roosters really like to pick on them, so we have to make sure that we keep an eye on them, which is why the big roosters need to leave here soon. Once the boys are checked and I know what they need for food and water, I head over to the other side of the farm and make sure that the pullets have their food and water and let them out for a couple hours. Good morning, big birds. Simon has decided that the meat girls should be his girls, so they're all in here now. Good morning, girls. And they are out of food too. So we'll make sure we fill their feeder. And here we go. Off you go, girls. Good morning. Theirs keeps getting ravished by the goats, so it doesn't help that all the big boys found where they live too, so the big boys come and eat their food. Are you displaying? You are a sad, ugly duckling. You are. Oh, girls. All right, so now that I know what is required for food and water for everybody this morning, I usually go dump the pond here because it is always nice and gross, so this gets refilled daily. The girls are molting, so they bathe a lot more when they're molting to help get rid of those loose feathers. So we're gonna go ahead and empty this, and then we're ready to start filling all the waters for everybody. Farmer Joe takes her jobs very seriously. She's currently filling waters for all her birds. There's the little ones. Hey, how's it going? I love when they're big enough to be able to be out and eating grass with everybody. It's so much better for them to be out here eating and picking. Look at you. Look at your tail feathers. Once I know what needs to be filled for waters, I go ahead and come in here and get everything I need for feed in the feed shed. The white bucket has just always been my bucket for the babies. It's just been easier that way to remember that, and then I make sure that it stays out of the rain so that it's dry. So this needs filled this morning with grower pellet, and then my little container here I fill with turkey grower pellet for the baby turkeys. And then this I usually fill with some grain for the big chickens, just some scratch sort of grain, so we have our homemade or homegrown oats and barley that goes in there. And then I also usually mix in some corn and peas, which we're running low on, so we're gonna need to get more of that. So once we have all of our feeds organized, we got our oats, barley, and corn in there for the big guys, and then our growers in here. The nice thing is the company that we have been that sells to our local feed store, they started putting the labels on the front of the bags, so then I know this is turkey grower, because the growers all look the same. So then I have that organized here, so that makes it a little bit easier for keeping things in line. Distributing the grain is the toddler job, and they absolutely love their job of distributing the grain. And as you can see, all the birds have it figured out that it's the toddler job too. So they all love to come in for some treats. You guys feeding them? Oh, so nice, Bobo. Yeah, you feeding the turkeys. I could stand there all day watching them do that, but I gotta feed the rest of the animals. So bringing my bucket, gotta fill all these feeders. Dump it all. Here, we'll take this off then. Is that better? No. Leave your coat on, please. Josie, it's too cold to take your coat off. Then you can unzip it, but you leave it on, okay? Okay, we gotta go feed the pullets. Let's go feed the pullets.
This is a duck. A fox frog. I do this. I do this. I do. This is mommy's. I do. This is the turkey. This is it's here. Doggy.
Show them the pullets. We fed the pullets.
And this is their brain. And this is their chicken.
Don't crew it like that, okay? All right, now time to fill the pool. And I got the other water filled for the pullets. Gave it a quick rinse out. And I'm gonna need to pack water to the big chickens so they have fresh water today and get them some grain if there's any left, because Bobo has been over there for the last 20 minutes throwing grain. All right, now let's go find a bucket for the big chickens. All right, now, little Miss Mama is down in the bottom there, so I'm gonna pick her some Timothy, and then we can check out these baby bunnies. They opened their eyes yesterday. Joe, put the hose away. Come see the babies. Joe, put the hose away. Come see the babies. Put them down there for her. That keeps her real distracted. Did she soak you with the hose? She totally did. What a sister you have. Here. Nose. Good job. Joe, you want to see the babies? Here they are. I know, just wait. Just wait. There. Your little eyes are opening. So they're really wiggly.
He opened his eyes.
Yep, they sure did. Oh, so precious. Is that a baby? Is that a baby? Josie, you stay here where I can see so that we can make sure that the baby stays safe, okay? Oh, they're so precious. So precious, those little buns. We'll put him back and grab one of his siblings out, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, little eyes opening. You scared him. Okay, is Mama still in the bottom? I know, just wait.
He opened his eyes.
Yeah, they all have their little eyes open.
Let's see.
Okay, come over here away from the mom so that she doesn't get upset, okay? Yeah. He says, what is going on around here? He's having a sleep. Oh, he's so precious. Did he pee on you? Oh, yep, he did. You got peed on. He peed on you. Yeah. You peed on her and jumped out. What a little stinky bunny you are. Okay, we'll put him back. Now, in all the bunny excitement, we're flooding the farm, so I gotta go deal with that.
You guys, it's fine. It's just a dog.
All right. We'll let that fill up a little bit more so that the babies can reach it. Bring them some grain, Bobo. Yeah, that'll keep them busy for a while. You gonna give them some? The geese want some too. All Bobo. You're safe, I got you. Alrighty. Grain for my girls. There we go. And water, because you guys make such a huge mess. I don't know who poops in here every day, but somebody does. Here's just one more extra slosh. Bobo, stay out there. There, now they got fresh water for the day. All right, let's go, Bobo. Push. All right, time for the goats. Yes, Joe? Up. Yes, dear. So, we had to do some changes to the goat feed recently. So they get alfalfa cubes. You went in here too? Okay. They get alfalfa cubes in here. And then the girls are still getting their soaked feed, but we're having to also add more goat techs to try and increase milk supply because the supply has been really down. All right, so we just put some cubes in the bottom, not too many because they're just starting out on them. You can put one more, Bobo. Nice, okay. And then we have our buckets of the soaked oats, or the soak beet pulp and alfalfa. Then they have their scoop of mineral and their goat techs. So put all the buckets inside the big bucket for convenient transportation. Hopefully. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh. And stack them for now. There's a chicken poop on your baby. That poor Dolly's been in the grain shed forever. Okay, one kid out. Your turn. Other kid out. All right, now my turn. All right, step one of goats is fill the goat feeder. Let's go fill the goat feeder. What are you doing? So I don't ever film us getting ourselves into the shed because it's always a bit chaotic. That's why we do the grain or the hay first. But even doing the hay first, we still get some, like Annie, that crowd. So it's hard for me to do the camera, the two toddlers, and our big bucket full of feed because like this morning we almost lost the whole bucket of feed. So it's just a little bit crazy. So that's why I usually don't film us getting into the feed shed. We are in the shed. We can get all set up and ready for milking. Did you get your finger in the hole? You're so funny. You gotta pull it out.
I need help.
Keep your finger straight. There. Don't do that again, please. So we had to do some modifications to the milk stand. So we now are using our platform as the stand, and the old stand is serving as the ramp, which is much more sturdy. It's much more like a bridge. So the girls actually really like it. And I'm sure that our kids plus the goat kids will end up destroying it again because as you can see, nobody can leave my things alone. Bobo's turn. There we go. Now we're ready to milk. All right, so for getting ready, we got to get all the grain organized and separated out for all the goats. The mineral goes over here in the mineral tub. I do a little bit at a time, otherwise it ends up all over the floor. So that's done. Then these grains will need to be separated out and ready. And then the cubes go in the bin I have here for them. And then they can munch on them throughout the day. You need wiped again? Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so now that we have that done, this I can kick out when I bring Annie in so that the girls outside have something to munch on while they wait for their turn. And then now we just need to get this ready. So with this, one is for Annie, one is for Big Mama, and I like to save a little bit out of each so that Luna and Star have a little bit. We're not milking them full time right now, so they don't need as much, but I do give them a little bit of grain just to help them keep body condition up while they are still in milk. Just take a scoop out of here, and usually it's faster if I just eyeball it and jiggle some out. So that'll be for the twins so that they get a little bit of grain as well, and then this just gets divvied up for the two milkers, and we're ready to go. So now that that's done, we have to hide all the grain from the girls, which usually is just done right there. Otherwise they get into it. Then we have one dish that goes here ready for the milking. Thank you, Bobo. And the other dish I can hide up in this corner, conveniently right by the milk stand. The goats can't reach it, it's too high, so it works out. So now we are ready to bring Miss Annie in for her milking. issue with the goat fence because there's a big gap here. So they are starting, some of them have figured out that they can just walk right over it. So it's too long to put a board up, and I can't just put a post in the ground because I'm home alone today. So my only option for now is running a wire weaved through the top with tension so that it's too high and strong enough that they won't be able to just push it over like they have been. Well, it's not perfect, but it's a temporary solution. Ideally, we're gonna need another fence post right here because it is a really big gap from that fence post all the way over to that fence post. So they have been pushing on the fence because the feed is here and it's just slowly sagged it. So what I did end up doing is just put a wire along the top with tension, weaved it through the top wire of the fence and attached it to the other side and pulled it as tight as I could by myself, just so that it holds the fence up because it was really sagged down and it was really easy for them to just hop over it. So that'll do for now, and Star is gonna have to get tied because she got out again while I was fixing it and I can't contain her. So hopefully this will work at least until my husband and I can get a more permanent solution, and Star is going to have to be tethered. While we're here by the hay, we'll gather up some good pieces for the bunnies so that they have some nice hay to munch on because they like that. And I always try to find the best part of a bale for them. You got some? Okay, let's go. A little extra milk goes to the dog, who always is appreciative of the little extra milk. We're gonna make sure that all of our grain and everything is organized for the night feed to make things smoother and to make sure that their beet pulp and alfalfa pellet has a chance to do good. So Joe's going over there to get me some water. Since the tub is fresh, she can grab me a scoop. Are you good? Bring it here, let's soak the grain. So we just need beet pulp and alfalfa pellet, which is here. And they need a little bit more for all of them to have some. Did a little bit less in one of them because Annie doesn't need quite as much as Big Mama. So give those a shake to stir. And we get our water from Farmer Joe. There we go. That'll soak. Add a little bit more to that one since it has more grain in it. That'll soak and be ready for the night milking. So the reason that we have changed the diet for our goats and increased the feed, we've been having a lot of issues in the last month with production, from like the milk production going down quite significantly. And so I reached out to a more experienced goat farmer, and we came to the conclusion that our goats just need a lot more feed and a lot more supplementation. I just wasn't really sure how much to be feeding them, and I was worried about overfeeding them. So we are starting to increase their feed intake, and it is already paying off. We already had way more milk this morning than we have been getting. So we're going to continue offering the alfalfa cubes and continue to soak the beet pulp and alfalfa pellets morning and night, as well as adding the goat techs so that they can get enough feed in their diet to produce some beautiful milk for us. I had to close up some of the coops because the goats were getting in and eating. So we gotta open again. There you go, girls. And the last thing we do is open for the big girls to come out for a bit. All right. Just gotta open the boys again. Then we're almost done. So the only other thing that I really wanted to show you guys is the garden, because things are growing really, really well. And we've had a lot of rain this last week, so everything is flourishing. My little herb tub is doing really well. We've got plenty growing in it. My thyme that I reseeded is coming up nicely. We've got oregano here in the middle coming up. We've got a couple different varieties of basil in here, and then lots of parsley, and then of course Joe's carrots, and the sage is still growing nice and tall, and the marigolds seem to have rooted well, so that's awesome. We have some potatoes, whatever the dog didn't dig up, are doing really well. The carrots are getting really nice and tall. Our radish is almost ready to eat. I reseeded the radishes because I didn't have very many come up. So there's quite a few new radishes that have come up in the last few days, which is awesome. And I can see some of the carrots I reseeded are starting to come up here as well. So really happy with that and how that's going. The flower garden, we still have plenty of flowers that keep flowering and blooming. My dill that I planted is finally coming up, so there's quite a few perennial herbs in here that are starting to grow. I can see now that my lilies are on the verge of opening, which is fantastic. Farmer Joe picked these bright, brilliant orange ones, so I'm really excited to see how they do. I can see that a lot of the perennials in here seem to have rooted really well. The hollyhocks here are looking really good, so lots of exciting things. I love pansies, so I'm so happy with my beautiful pansies that have been growing. The green onion looks a little sad, but it looks like there's some new green coming on it, so it should be good. The corn got really tall this week. There's more onions seem to be sprouting up, more and more of Farmer Joe's corn. We still have tons and tons of pigweeds, but they pull so easy. Like they pull out really nice. So it's a really, really easy garden to weed. So that's been super nice. This is all of our beets, and they are looking fantastic. The kohlrabies. Now, we're having issues with the pea fence staying where it's supposed to, but everything looks like it's growing really well. The spinach is coming up really nice, so that's been good. Lots of beans. We're having something eating all of our Swiss chard, so we've got lots of little wormholes in the Swiss chard, but the romaine lettuce looks like it's rooted really well, and it's probably almost ready to eat. So I'm really excited about that. Romaine is a perennial here, so it should come for years to come. Now, all of the squashes, this is all the zucchinis here. They are not quite to the flowering stage, but they're getting there, so hopefully we should have some zucchini here soon. This is all of our Brussels sprouts, and they're starting to form and starting to get really nice and big. The broccoli, I should expect to see some broccoli from it really soon. And then the cabbages, I cannot believe how much the green cabbages from seed that I started in the house have grown in the last week. They are getting really big. And then the pumpkins are already starting to get out of control, which is pretty normal for pumpkins. So I'm hopeful that they should start flowering here soon because they're getting quite mature. So it should be really good. This is some squash in here too. There's butternuts and things like that. So they're all looking really good, and I'm really, really happy with my garden right now. So the greenhouse has also been looking really, really good. We've got my peppermint is going nuts, so we've got plenty of peppermint, and the cucumbers are starting to really climb. They look bigger and bigger every day. As you can see, we have tons of cucumbers flowering. I've got my little paintbrush here that I've been using to make sure that everything is getting pollinated really well. Quite a few of them. There's some little cucumbers starting on a lot of them, so really, really excited about that. The marigolds I planted from seed are really starting to root in and look nice, so I'm really happy how those are turning out. The tomato plants are still doing really good, still getting some beautiful tomatoes on there. The ones I planted from seed in the house are starting to bush out, and some are starting to flower, so that's exciting. Farmer Joe's celery is looking really good and starting to grow some nice stalks on it. Joe absolutely loves celery, so we always have celery in the greenhouse. There's some more tomatoes growing there. The peppers are starting to bush out and get quite a bit taller, so I'm really happy about that. Some of them are even starting to get ready to flower, and the jalapeno that I have in here already has quite a few peppers on it, which is super exciting. The spearmint is going nuts. It is loving the heat in here, and so is the mint. And then I've already been harvesting and using basil from the greenhouse because it is doing really well. We've got oregano here, and then I believe this is some little thyme. There's some here and there's some down here as well. So the greenhouse is doing really good. I'm really happy with it, and we should hopefully be able to collect some more produce from our greenhouse and hopefully start getting quite a few cucumbers because that is a household favorite. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you can see our content each week and keep up with our farm updates. We'll see you guys next time.